Listen to me. Success is not a sometimes thing. Greatness is not a weekend hobby. Champions don't show up only when they feel motivated. Winners don't wait for perfect condition. If you want to change your life, if you want to transform your future, if you want to become unstoppable, you've got to go hard every single day. Talking about going hard when people clap for you. I'm not talking about grinding when your bank account looks good. I'm talking about going hard when you're tired, when you're broke, when nobody believes in you, when nobody sees your effort. That's when it counts. Because pressure doesn't break the strong, it exposes the weak. And if you want to be strong, you must train your mind to push beyond comfort. Most people want success, but they don't want the sacrifice. They want the results, but they don't want the work. They want the spotlight, but they don't want the struggle. But let me tell you something. Every level of success demands a new level of discipline. Every dream requires a daily decision, and every decision you make either moves you closer to greatness or pulls you deeper into average. You can't cheat the grind. It knows how much you've invested. It knows whether you showed up prepared or you showed up lazy. It knows if you practiced when nobody watched, or if you only performed when the spotlight was on. The grind doesn't lie, and the grind rewards those who stay consistent. You see, motivation is temporary. Anybody can be motivated for one day. Anybody can be excited for 1 week. But discipline is permanent. Discipline wakes you up when motivation sleeps. Discipline pushes you when your feelings say stop. Discipline keeps you moving when your mind says quit. And if you master discipline, you master your life. Going hard every single day means you don't negotiate with excuses. You don't debate with doubt. You don't listen to fear. Fear is a liar. Excuses are thieves. Doubt is a dream killer. And if you allow them to speak louder than your purpose, you will never hear the sound of victory. Let me be real with you. Some days you won't feel like grinding. Some days your body will ache. Some days your mind will be tired. Some days you'll question whether it's even worth it. But those are the days that separate the winners from the quitters. Because champions don't rely on feelings. They rely on commitment. Average people wait for opportunity. Great people create opportunity. Average people complain about problems. Great people solve problems. Great people talk about goals. Great people chase goals until they become reality. So the question is simple. Which one are you? If you want something you've never had, you must do something you've never done. That means waking up earlier. That means working harder. That means sacrificing comfort. That means cutting off distractions. That means staying focused when everyone else is playing. Because while they're sleeping, you're building. While they're scrolling, you're studying. While they're doubting, you're doing. You don't become elite overnight. You become elite over time. Brick by brick, day by day, rep by rep, choice by choice. The small things you do daily become the big results you see eventually. Success is not one giant step. It's thousands of small steps taken consistently. And hear me clearly. Nobody owes you success. Nobody owes you opportunity. Nobody owes you recognition. You earn it, you fight for it, you grind for it, and if you're not willing to outwork the competition, then you've already accepted defeat. So go hard every single day. Go hard when you win. Go hard when you win. Go hard when you lose. Go hard when it's hard. Go hard when it's hard. Go hard when they doubt you. Go hard when they support you. Because when you give everything you got every single day, there's only one possible outcome: growth. And growth leads to power. Power leads to confidence, leads to dominance, and dominance leads to the life you once only dreamed about. So don't slow down. Don't back up. Don't give up. Go hard every single day. Consistency beats motivation every time. That sounds simple, but most people don't really understand what that means until life tests them. Motivation is a feeling. It's an emotion. It's a spark. It comes, and it goes like the wind. Some mornings you wake up energized, ready to conquer the world. Other mornings you wake up tired, distracted, and questioning everything. If your success depends on how you feel, then your success will always be unstable. But consistency is a decision. Consistency is a standard. Consistency is a commitment you make to yourself that no matter how you feel, you will still show up, still work, still push, and still execute. Anyone can be motivated on a good day. Anybody can feel inspired when the sun is shining, when the opportunities are flowing, when people are cheering your name. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when the applause stops? What happens when nobody is watching, nobody is supporting, and nobody is clapping for you? That's where consistency takes over. Because consistency doesn't ask how you feel. Consistency asks who you decided to be. You see, motivation is emotional, but consistency is intentional. Motivation waits for the right mood, while consistency creates the right habits. Motivation is loud in the beginning, but consistency is powerful in the long run. Motivation can start the race, but only consistency can finish it. And the truth is, the world is full of people who start strong but finish weak. They begin with excitement, they begin with passion, they begin with fire, but they don't have the discipline to keep going when the fire dies down. Real winners understand something that average people ignore. They understand that success is not built in one moment of intensity. It's built in thousands of moments of repetition. It's built when you practice even when you don't feel like it. It's built when you study even when you're tired. It's built when you train even when your body aches. It's built when you keep your promise to yourself even when nobody else would know if you broke it. That's the power of consistency. It transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Think about it like this. A single drop of water doesn't look powerful. But if that drop falls in the same place every day, over and over again, it can carve through stone. Not because the drop is strong, but because it is consistent. That's how greatness is formed. Not through one big action, but through small actions repeated daily. The people who dominate in life are not always the most talented, not always the smartest, not always the fastest. They're the ones who refuse to stop. They're the ones who show up again and again and again long after everyone else has quit. Most people quit because they rely on motivation. They say, I'll start when I feel ready. They say, I'll work when I feel inspired. They say, I'll push when I feel confident. But feelings are unpredictable. Feelings change. Feelings lie. If you wait until you feel ready, you might wait your entire life. Consistency doesn't wait. Consistency moves. Consistency acts. Consistency produces. There will be days when you don't feel strong. There will be days when you're low. There will be days when doubt whispers in your ear and tells you to slow down. But consistency answers that doubt with action. Consistency says, I don't care how I feel. I made a commitment and I will honor it. And that mindset, that unbreakable promise to yourself, is what separates dreamers from achievers. People love to talk about big goals. They love to talk about success, wealth, greatness, and winning. But they don't always love the process. They don't always love the repetition. They don't always love the daily grind. Yet the process is where the transformation happens. The routine is where strength is built. The repetition is where mastery is born. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you push when it's uncomfortable, you strengthen your character. Every time you stay consistent, you prove to yourself that you are in control. Consistency is powerful because it compounds. One day of effort might not change your life. 2 days might not seem impressive. Even a week might not look dramatic. But stack those days together. Stack weeks into months. Stack months into years. Suddenly you look back and realize you are no longer the same person. You are stronger. You are sharper. You are wiser. You are more confident. Not because of one big moment, but because of many small moments of consistency. That's why consistency beats motivation every time. Motivation is temporary fuel. Consistency is a permanent engine. Motivation can get you started, but consistency keeps you moving. Motivation can light the spark, but consistency keeps the fire burning. And in the race towards success, the person with the steady engine will always outlast the person relying on quick sparks. Understand this clearly. You don't need to feel motivated to be productive. You don't need to feel confident to take action. You don't need to feel fearless to move forward. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you start working, you build momentum. When you build momentum, you build belief. And when you build belief, you become unstoppable. The strongest people are not the ones who always feel ready. They don't negotiate with excuses. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't depend on inspiration. They depend on standards. They set a standard for how they work, how they train, how they live, and they stick to that standard no matter what. Rain or shine, good mood or bad mood. energy, or exhaustion. They show up. And showing up is everything. Showing up tired is better than not showing up at all. Showing up unsure is better than staying stuck. Showing up imperfect is better than waiting for perfection. Because every time you show up, you move forward. Every time you move forward, you grow. And every time you grow, you get closer to the life you want. A lot of people underestimate how powerful daily discipline really is. They think success comes from giant leaps. They think greatness comes from dramatic changes. But real transformation is quiet. It happens in the background. It happens in the early mornings when nobody is awake. It happens in the late nights when nobody is watching. It happens in the moments when you choose effort instead of excuses. Those moments may look small, but they are shaping your future. Your future is not decided by what you do once. Your future is decided by what you do repeatedly. One workout won't make you fit. One study session won't make you brilliant. One day of focus won't make you successful. But repeated workouts build strength. Repeated study builds intelligence. Repeated focus builds achievement. Repetition is the law of progress. And consistency is the force that drives repetition. When you truly understand this, you stop chasing motivation and start building discipline. You stop waiting for inspiration and start waiting for inspiration and start creating habits. You stop depending on feelings and start depending on standards. And once you reach that level, something incredible happens. You become reliable to yourself. You trust yourself. You know that when you say you will do something, you will do it. That self-trust is powerful. That self-respect is powerful. That self-discipline is powerful. Because at the end of the day, the greatest competition you will ever face is not another person. It's the version of yourself that wants to quit. The version that wants comfort. The version that wants excuses. Consistency defeats that version. Every day you stay committed, you silence that weaker voice and strengthen the stronger one. Every day you stay disciplined, you become a little more unstoppable. So, don't chase motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Chase consistency. Build it, train it, protect it, make it part of who you are. Decide that no matter what happens, you will show up. Decide that no matter how you feel, you will act. Decide that no matter how slow progress seems, you will continue. Because when you master consistency, you unlock a level of power most people never reach. And when others stop because they feel tired, you will keep going because you are trained. When others quit because they feel discouraged, you will continue because you are committed. When others hesitate because they feel afraid, you will move forward because you are disciplined. That is why consistency wins. That is why consistency dominates. That is why consistency beats motivation every single time. If you can learn to be consistent when it's hard, you will become unstoppable when it counts. Daily effort creates legendary results. That simple statement holds more truth than most people realize. People often look at greatness, at achievement, at extraordinary success, and they think it comes from one big idea, one big moment, or one stroke of luck. They believe that overnight success is real, that brilliance is sudden, that champions are born, not made. But the reality is far different. Legendary results are not born from rare events. They are born from ordinary actions repeated relentlessly over time. Every day you put in the effort, no matter how small, you are building a foundation for extraordinary outcome. Every single action compounds, every single choice accumulates, and every single moment of effort moves you closer to results that seem impossible until you achieve them. Most people underestimate the power of consistency. They think that if they just work hard occasionally, if they just put in a few bursts of energy, they will reach the top. But life doesn't work that way. Life rewards those who are persistent, those who grind even when the fire is low, those who push even when they feel like stopping. Daily effort is the quiet force that shapes your destiny. It doesn't seek attention. It doesn't demand applause. It simply moves you forward, step by step, until one day the results catch up. And suddenly everyone notices, suddenly everyone admires, suddenly everyone says, how did they get there? Every effort you make, no matter how insignificant it seems at the moment, adds up. Waking up an hour early to work on your goals, practicing a skill when no one is watching, reading, studying, planning, exercising, improving and repeating every day. It may feel small, it may feel meaningless, but repeated over months and years, it becomes unstoppable. Daily effort is like pouring water on a rock. One day it doesn't make a difference. 2 days it doesn't make a difference. But after months and years, that same rock can be worn down. That same rock can be transformed. And that is exactly what happens to your life, when you consistently invest effort. Most people give up too soon. They start strong, full of excitement and energy. The first few days or weeks feel good, motivating, inspiring even. But then challenge comes. Progress seems slow. The results don't appear immediately. And that's when most people quit. They stop believing in themselves. They stop trusting the process. They stop putting in the effort. But let me tell you something. If you quit just before the breakthrough, you will never experience what could have been. Daily effort is like interest in a bank account. It compounds over time. You cannot skip steps. You cannot shortcut your way to legendary results. You must keep going even when it feels like nothing is happening. Effort is not always glamorous. It doesn't always feel exciting. Most of the work that creates legends is invisible. It happens early in the morning when nobody else is awake. It happens late at night when everyone else has gone to bed. It happens in moments when your mind wants rest, your body wants comfort, and your emotions want escape. That is the price of progress. That is the secret of champions. They do the work when it is hardest, when it is unseen, when it is inconvenient. And that is why they reach levels of success that ordinary people never even dream of. Daily effort builds character as much as it builds results. Every time you push yourself, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Every time you resist the temptation to quit, you strengthen your mind. Every time you take action despite fear, doubt, or fatigue, you expand what you believe is possible for yourself. And those beliefs matter more than skills, more than talent, more than luck. Because your results are always limited by the size of your vision and the strength of your will. Daily effort grows both. Effort compounds in ways most people don't see. Think about it. When you practice a skill for just 30 minutes a day, in 1 week that's 3.5 hours. In a month that's 15 hours. In a year that's over 180 hours of focused practice. That consistent effort creates mastery. That mastery leads to confidence. That confidence opens doors. That confidence inspires others. That confidence attracts opportunities. And those opportunities lead to results that look legendary, results that people think are magical, results that feel impossible, but they are simply the outcome of repeated effort over time. Effort also builds momentum. Momentum is one of the most underestimated forces in success. When you put in daily effort, you create small wins that feed each other. Every accomplishment, no matter how small, strengthens your commitment. Every completed task fuels motivation. Every step forward makes the next step easier. Momentum turns effort into habit, habit into skill, and skill, unstoppable power. And once momentum is on your side, even the most daunting challenges become manageable. You don't have to rely on luck. You don't have to wait for inspiration. Momentum carries you forward. The people who achieve legendary results do not do so because they are always motivated. They do not do so because they feel like it every single day. They do so because they act even when they don't feel like it. They do so because they prioritize effort over emotion. They do so because they understand that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. They understand that action is louder than words. They understand that work done consistently will always outperform talent that is occasional. There will be days when you want to quit. There will be days when life feels heavy. There will be days when setbacks threaten to pull you back. But every day you push forward, despite the struggle, you create a foundation that cannot be taken away. Every day you choose effort over excuses, action over comfort, and persistence over delay, you are investing in your future self. That future self will one day reap the rewards of your dedication. And that is why the work you do today is more important than the results you see tomorrow. Results do not appear instantly. Legendary results never do. They are the product of patience combined with relentless action. The world loves shortcuts, quick fixes, and instant gratification. But those who achieve greatness understand that there is no substitute for daily effort. The grind, the repetition, the long hours of unseen work. That is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. While others chase temporary excitement, you build permanent value. Effort is also contagious. When you consistently push yourself, you inspire those around you. People notice dedication, even when it is silent. People respect consistency even when it is quiet. People are drawn to action even when the results are still in progress. Your daily commitment sets a standard, creates influence, and attracts others who will support, challenge, and elevate you. Legendary results are rarely achieved in isolation. They are the product of effort that not only improves you, but also inspires others to elevate their game. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that results must be immediate. They expect recognition, success, or progress after a short burst of work. When that doesn't happen, they quit. But legendary results are built silently. They accumulate in the background, they grow in the shadow. And then one day, all that effort manifests in a way that is undeniable, unstoppable, and invisible to the world. But the visibility is only possible because of the consistency that came before. Daily effort is invisible at first, but its impact is inevitable. Effort also teaches resilience. When you commit to giving your best every day, you encounter obstacles, challenges, and failures. And each time you overcome them, you build strength. Each time you persist, you build endurance. Each time you rise after a setback, you expand your capacity. Resilience is what allows you to continue when things get hard. Resilience is what allows you to keep going when results are delayed. Resilience is what turns ordinary effort into legendary results. The beauty of daily effort is that it doesn't require extraordinary talent, but talent. It doesn't require extraordinary intelligence. It doesn't require extraordinary luck. It requires a simple decision to do the work, to push forward, to refuse to quit. That decision, repeated every day, builds skill, creates opportunities, and produces results that others can only dream of. Ordinary people who take extraordinary action daily will always outperform talented people who are inconsistent. Effort compounds. Effort multiplies. Effort transforms. Ultimately, daily effort is about showing up, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about doing the work, even when nobody is watching. It's about trusting the process, even when results aren't visible. It's about committing to yourself and to your goals, knowing that the work you do today is shaping the person you will become tomorrow. Legendary results are not an accident. They are the outcome of intentional, relentless daily effort. If you can embrace that truth, you will stop chasing shortcuts and start building foundation. You will stop waiting for motivation and start relying on discipline. You will stop making excuses and start taking action. And one day when you look back, you will see that the life you are living, the achievements you have earned, and the success you have built were never gifts. They were earned, moment by moment, day by day, with effort that refused to quit. No one can do the work for you. No one can make the commitment for you. No one can invest in your future except you. Every choice you make today, every action you take today, and every effort you give today is shaping the legendary results of tomorrow. So show up, push forward, persist, work hard, grind relentlessly. Every day matters. Every effort counts. And if you give your all consistently, you will one day look back and realize that the legendary results you once dreamed of were not impossible. They were inevitable. Daily effort creates legendary results because it builds skill, confidence, momentum, resilience, and character. It turns ordinary moments into extraordinary outcomes. It transforms discipline into habit, habits into mastery, into success. And when all those pieces come together, the results are undeniable, unshakable, and legendary. Comfort zones kill potential. That is one of the hardest truths most people will ever face because comfort feels safe. Comfort feels familiar. Comfort feels easy. It lulls you into a false sense of security, convincing you that you are doing enough, that you are making progress, that you are moving forward. But the truth is, your potential does not grow inside comfort. Your potential does not expand where effort is minimal, where challenges are avoided, and where growth is unnecessary. Comfort zones are the silent killers of dreams, the invisible prisons that keep people small while the world moves past them. Most people spend their lives inside comfort zones without even realizing it. They wake up every day, follow routines, repeat patterns, and never question whether their life is moving them toward their goals or merely keeping them busy. They settle into jobs that don't challenge them, relationships that don't inspire them, habits that don't elevate them. Comfort feels safe, but safety is not the same as progress. Staying comfortable ensures that you never reach your full potential. ensures that your dreams remain dreams. It ensures that your talent, skill, and ambition never manifest in the way they were meant to. Growth requires discomfort. Every major achievement in history, every story of success, every example of greatness involves stepping into discomfort. Entrepreneurs risk financial security to start businesses. Athletes push their bodies beyond exhaustion to win championships. Artists face criticism and rejection to share their work with the world. Scientists challenge conventional thinking to discover breakthroughs. The common thread in all of these stories is that greatness lives beyond comfort. Potential is unlocked when you embrace challenge, not when you avoid it. Your mind is naturally resistant to change. It prefers routine. It prefers familiarity. It prefers the path of least resistance. That is why comfort zones are so deceptive. They feel like peace, but they are actually stagnation. They protect you from failure, but they also protect you from success. They make you feel safe, but safety comes at the cost of your dreams. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you must learn to sit with discomfort, to embrace challenges, and to act even when your mind screams to stay put. Fear and comfort are closely connected. When you step outside of comfort, fear appears. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. That fear is natural. That fear is also a signal that you are on the edge of growth. If you never feel that fear, if you never feel that discomfort, you are not pushing yourself toward your potential. Comfort zones protect you from fear, but they also protect you from life-changing opportunities. Potential is waiting on the other side of fear, not inside the walls of comfort. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you shrink your potential. Every time you avoid effort, skip a hard conversation, refuse to take a risk, or settle for easier options, you place limits on yourself. And those limits don't just stay small. Over time, they compound. The person you become is a reflection of the choices you make consistently. If you consistently choose comfort, you will consistently see limited results. If you consistently choose challenge, you will consistently expand your abilities, knowledge, and opportunities. The process of stepping outside comfort is not easy. It is meant to be hard. Comfort feels good because it is effortless. Growth feels uncomfortable because it is effortful. Effort stretches you. Effort reshapes your habits. Effort forces adaptation. And adaptation is how you reach higher levels of performance. That is why champions, leaders, and high achievers actively seek discomfort. They understand that to unlock their potential, they must create challenges for themselves. They must embrace struggle as the catalyst for success. Think about how much time is wasted in comfort. Hours scrolling on social media, days avoiding responsibility, weeks postponing goals, months ignoring personal development. Each moment in comfort is a lost opportunity. Each day of avoiding challenge is a day that your potential remains dormant. Your talents, your intelligence, your creativity, your drive, all of these gifts require attention to grow. Just like muscles need resistance to become strong, your potential needs challenge to become visible. Comfort offers no resistance, it offers no growth. Breaking free from comfort requires courage. It requires a willingness to confront uncertainty and discomfort directly. It requires mental toughness. It requires a mindset that values progress over ease, growth over familiarity, and results over temporary satisfaction. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in spite of fear. And stepping outside comfort is one of the purest demonstrations of courage. Each time you take a step into discomfort, you expand the boundaries of what you are capable of achieving. Discomfort teaches resilience. When you face challenges, when you push beyond ease, you encounter obstacles, setbacks, and failure. Each one tests your determination. Each one stretches your patience. Each one builds strength. If you never leave your comfort zone, you never experience these tests, and therefore you never develop the resilience required for high achievement. Potential is not realized in safe, predictable environments. It is realized when you are tested, when you are forced to adapt, and when you persist despite difficulty. Comfort zones also limit creativity. Innovation never comes from the familiar. Inspiration rarely arises from repetition. Ideas are born when you challenge assumption, question norms, and explore new possibility. If you stay in comfort, your mind stagnates. Your thinking becomes predictable. Your solutions become mediocre. To unlock potential and problem, Solving and creation and leadership, you must put yourself in new situations, confront new challenges, and test the limits of your imagination. Creativity flourishes in discomfort, not in ease. But potential also depends on experience. The broader your experience is, the more capable you become. Comfort zones restrict experience because they keep you in familiar settings, routines, and relationships. To grow, you must step into unknown territories, physically, mentally, emotionally, and professionally. Travel, networking, learning new skills, facing unfamiliar tasks. These are all ways to leave comfort and expand your horizon. Each experience outside comfort stretches your ability to handle challenges and increases the range of your potential. Excuses are often the handmaidens of comfort. I can't do this because it's too hard. I don't want to fail. I'll try later. These are ways your mind justifies staying within what's known. Comfort whispers to you that security is preferable to risk, that familiarity is preferable to challenge, that ease is preferable to challenge. But listening to that voice guarantees mediocrity. Listening to that voice guarantees unrealized potential. The path to greatness is uncomfortable by design. It is meant to force growth, resilience, creativity, and strength. Comfort zones distort your perception of risk and reward. Inside comfort, challenges seem unnecessary, effort seems optional, and opportunities appear far away. But the reality is that growth is always just outside your comfort zone. The opportunities that define your life, the results that others envy, the personal development that creates true confidence, all of these live on the edge of discomfort. If you never step toward that edge, you will never know what you are capable of achieving. Breaking free from comfort requires action. It is not enough to recognize that comfort limits potential. Recognition without action is wasted awareness. You must deliberately choose to take steps into discomfort. You must set goals that challenge you. You must seek tasks that push your limits. You must surround yourself with people who demand growth from you. You must adopt habits that make ease the exception, not the rule. Action is what transforms awareness into realized potential. The journey outside comfort is gradual. You don't have to leap immediately into extreme situations. You can start small. Take incremental steps. Speak up in meetings if you are shy. Try a new workout if you avoid effort. Take on a challenging project at work if you fear failure. Every small step builds courage, expands capacity, and reshapes what you consider possible. Over time, those small steps accumulate into transformative growth. Potential is realized step by step, challenge by challenge. Stepping outside comfort also builds confidence. Every time you act despite fear, every time you challenge the familiar, every time you endure difficulty, you reinforce your belief in yourself. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Confidence grows not from ease, but from confronting challenges and surviving them. And that confidence fuels further action, creating a cycle of growth that continually expands your potential. Potential is wasted when you wait for the perfect moment. Comfort makes you patient for the ideal conditions, the perfect timing, the easiest path. But there is no perfect moment. There is only the present, the challenge in front of you, the step you are willing to take right now. Potential is unlocked when you act, not when you wait. Discomfort is unavoidable in growth, so waiting for comfort guarantees that you remain stagnant. The people who achieve extraordinary results are those who embrace discomfort consistently. They seek out challenges. They welcome difficulty. They endure hardships. They view obstacles not as threats, but as opportunities to grow stronger, smarter, and more capable. Comfort is the enemy of their progress, and they treat it as such. They understand that what feels easy rarely produces greatness, and what feels difficult often produces results that last a lifetime. In the end, comfort zones are invisible prisons. They limit your vision, your courage, your resilience, and your creativity. They suppress effort, ambition, and potential to reach your highest level, to achieve results that are truly extraordinary. To live a life that exceeds ordinary expectations, you must step beyond comfort. You must embrace challenge. You must endure difficulty. You must act despite fear. You must persist despite resistance. Every step you take outside comfort expands your potential. Every challenge you face shapes your character. Every effort you make in discomfort compounds into results that are nothing short of legendary. Your potential will never grow inside ease. It will never expand without challenge. It will never flourish in familiarity. You are capable of far more than you realize, but that capacity is unlocked only when you move beyond comfort, embrace struggle, and confront the unknown. If you want to be great, if you want to live fully, if you want to achieve your dreams, you must leave your comfort zone behind. Your potential is waiting there. Fear is the single greatest barrier between you and the life you are capable of living. Fear is invisible, yet it has a weight that is heavier than most physical obstacles. It creeps into your thoughts, whispers doubts in your ears, and convinces you that you are not ready, not capable, not worthy. Fear is natural. It is human. But fear is also optional in the sense that you get to decide how much control it has over your actions. Most people let fear dictate their choices. Most people allow fear to determine what they attempt, what they say, what they dream, and even who they become. But the truth is, fear is not permanent, and it is not insurmountable. It only has power when you give it power. Fear appears in many forms. Sometimes it comes as hesitation, a quiet doubt that prevents you from taking the first step. Sometimes it comes as procrastination, convincing you to wait for the right moment that never arrives. Sometimes it appears as overthinking, analyzing every possible outcome until the opportunity slips away. Other times, fear appears as avoidance, pushing you to ignore challenges instead of confronting them. Each form of fear is designed to protect you, to keep you safe in the familiar, but safety comes at a cost. Every time you allow fear to decide, you limit your growth, your potential, and your life. Fear is not just emotional. It is mental, physical, and even social. Your mind tells you that failure is catastrophic. Your body responds with tension and hesitation. And society sometimes reinforces caution through judgment or criticism. It is a multi-layered barrier that seems overwhelming, but the key to overcoming fear is understanding that it's always manageable, one step at a time. Fear does not disappear by ignoring it. It does not vanish by pretending it does not exist. It disappears when you act despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. Every moment you face fear, you have a choice. Retreat into comfort or advance into growth. Retreating may feel safe, but it's also the path of stagnation. Advancing may feel uncertain, but it is the path of development. Growth lives on the other side of fear, not inside of shadow. Every successful person has experienced fear. Every successful person has been afraid. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stagnant is not that they never felt fear, but that they refuse to let it control them. Fear grows when you avoid it, when you hesitate, when you delay, when you let doubt rule. Fear becomes stronger. It feeds on inaction, multiplies with uncertainty, and builds walls that seem insurmountable. Each time you confront fear, even in small ways, you shrink its power. Each time you act despite doubt, you weaken its grip. Over time, the accumulation of brave choices dismantles fear in ways that feel almost miraculous. Courage is cultivated, strengthened, and multiplied through repeated acts of action, especially when action feels uncomfortable. The first step in confronting fear is awareness. You must recognize it for what it is, a feeling, a signal, not an absolute truth. Fear tells you that something matters. It tells you that the opportunity is significant and the potential outcome is meaningful. But fear does not dictate reality. It does not decide whether you will succeed or fail. It simply signals that the moment is important. When you understand that, fear can become a compass rather than a chain. Fear points you toward growth, away from it. Fear is often tied to failure, but failure itself is not fatal. The fear of failure is what stops most people. They imagine the worst-case scenario. They anticipate judgment, and they paralyze themselves before even starting. But failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of the journey toward it. Each failure teaches you, shapes you, and prepares you for the next step. When you accept that failure is inevitable on the path to growth, fear loses its ability to immobilize you. You can act knowing that mistakes are not endings, but lessons. Fear is also tied to uncertainty. You fear what you cannot predict. You fear the unknown. But the unknown is where possibility lives. Every breakthrough, every success, every personal transformation exists in uncharted territory. If you refuse to enter uncertainty, you refuse to meet your potential. The path to greatness is not mapped in certainty. It is carved through courage, effort, and persistence. Fear of uncertainty is natural, but it is also conquerable by taking one step at a time, by learning as you go, and by trusting yourself to adapt. Fear is social as well. People fear criticism, rejection, or judgment. They fear that others will see their weaknesses or laugh at their efforts. That fear is powerful because humans are wired for social acceptance. But if you allow social fear to dictate your actions, you hand over control of your life to other people's opinions. True freedom, true potential comes when you act despite what others may think. Confidence grows when you prioritize your own vision over the judgment of others. Courage is amplified when you act for yourself, not for approval. Overcoming fear requires action, and action often requires repetition. The first time you confront a fear, it feels monumental. The second time, it feels less intimidating. By the 10th time, it begins to feel manageable. Each confrontation shrinks the perceived size of fear. Every time you act despite hesitation, you reinforce your belief in your ability to handle challenges. Fear is a muscle that can be weakened through consistent practice. Courage is a muscle that grows the more you exercise it. Fear also teaches you about priority. It highlights what truly matters to you. If you are afraid of speaking in public, it is because your message matters. If you are afraid of starting a business, it is because your vision matters. If you are afraid of confrontation, it is because your relationships matter. Fear points to significance. When you interpret fear as a signal rather than a barrier, it guides you toward the areas of your life that require growth and effort. You must also prepare yourself mentally to face fear. Visualization, planning, and mental rehearsal do not eliminate fear, but they reduce uncertainty. When you imagine a challenge ahead, anticipate obstacles, and envision success, you create a roadmap that allows you to move with confidence. Preparation strengthens your courage because it provides clarity. Clarity reduces fear because fear thrives in confusion, chaos, and doubt. Another critical factor is support. Surround yourself with people who encourage growth and challenge avoidance. Seek mentors, friends, or colleagues who will push you forward when fear tempts you to step back. Fear loses power in an environment where courage is modeled and reinforced. Communities of action, accountability, and encouragement amplify your ability to confront challenges and persist despite fear. You are stronger than your fears when you do not face them alone. Fear is not a one-time obstacle. It is a recurring presence. Every stage of growth introduces new fears because every new step involves stepping into the unknown. But each fear you confront prepares you for the next. Life is a continuous cycle of challenge, fear, and growth. Those who succeed are not those who avoid fear, but those who embrace it as part of the journey. Fear is a companion on the road to greatness, not the enemy. One of the most powerful ways to diminish fear is to focus on your why. When your purpose is stronger than your anxiety, your fears lose significance. Your goals, your dreams, your vision, and your desire to live a meaningful life provide a force that outweighs the temporary discomfort of fear. Every step you take toward what matters most weakens fears hold over you. Action guided by purpose becomes unstoppable because fear cannot compete with clarity of mission. Fear also diminishes when you break challenges into smaller steps. Large goals seem intimidating because the unknown feels massive. But when you divide your objectives into actionable pieces, fear becomes manageable. Each small victory builds confidence. Each small risk expands comfort. Over time, these incremental wins accumulate, and the once intimidating challenge feels achievable. Courage grows in increments, just like mastery grows through repetition. Fear can also be harnessed as motivation. Many people let fear paralyze them, but fear can also be a signal to prepare, to sharpen skills, to act with urgency. When you redirect the energy that fear produces into deliberate action, it becomes a driving force rather than a barrier. The very sensation that once held you back can propel you forward if channeled correctly. Fear becomes fuel instead of a roadblock. Finally, the ultimate realization is that fear is temporary. Fear may feel overwhelming in the moment, but action, persistence, and courage erode it. Every decision to act despite fear reinforces your belief in yourself. Every step forward redefines your boundaries. Every challenge overcome proves that fear was never permanent. You become someone who is not fearless, but someone who is unstoppable. because you refuse to let fear dictate your life. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is your invitation. It is an invitation to grow, to rise, to expand, to test your limits, and to realize your potential. The person you are capable of becoming is always on the other side of fear. The life you are meant to live waits beyond hesitation. The dreams you desire exist beyond doubt. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the mastery of it. You confront it. You act despite it. You persist despite it. And as you do, fear shrinks while your potential expands. Every time you face fear, you take another step toward freedom. Every time you act despite uncertainty, you redefine what is possible. Every time you refuse to retreat, you grow stronger, more confident, and more capable. Fear will never disappear entirely, but it will lose its authority over your life. And the more you step into it, the more you realize that the only limits were the ones you allowed fear to place on you. Consistency is the secret ingredient that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. It is easy to underestimate because it does not always produce immediate results. But over time, it compounds into unmatched power. Consistency is what allows ordinary actions to create extraordinary outcomes. It is what transforms effort into mastery, goals into achievements, and potential into reality. People often chase motivation, inspiration, or sudden bursts of energy, but the truth is that sustained, repeated action is what builds long-term success. Without consistency, even the most brilliant strategies, ideas, or intentions remain incomplete. Consistency is often confused with perfection. Many people think that they must perform flawlessly every day, and when they fail, they give up entirely. But consistency is not about being perfect. It is about showing up day after day and doing what you can. It is about creating momentum through repetition, not through ideal execution. Even small, imperfect actions, when repeated consistently, create significant results. The key is not how perfectly you act today, but that you act at all and continue tomorrow. Consistency compounds, and over time, the compound effect is extraordinary. Most people fail because they overestimate the importance of motivation and underestimate the power of consistency. Motivation is fleeting. It rises and falls depending on mood, energy, and circumstances. Some days you feel inspired, other days you do not. Relying solely on motivation is like trying to sail a boat using only the wind. It's unpredictable, unreliable, and inconsistent. Consistency, on the other hand, is like the rudder of the boat. It allows you to navigate challenges, stay on course, and reach your destination regardless of the fluctuating conditions of emotion and energy. Consistency requires a mindset that values long-term progress over short-term comfort. It is easy to quit when results are not immediate, when the journey feels slow, or when distractions tempt you to stray. But those who commit to consistency understand that results are the product of repeated effort over time. They understand that mastery cannot be rushed, that achievement cannot be forced, and that success is not an event but a process. Consistency turns ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes precisely because it persists when others quit. Consistency builds trust both in yourself and from others. When you consistently act on your commitments, you prove to yourself that you are reliable. You develop confidence in your abilities and your decisions. Others notice this consistency as well. They see someone who can be counted on, someone who follows through, and someone who delivers results over time. Trust, once established, multiplies opportunities, relationships, and influence. Consistency not only produces results, but also builds credibility, which is essential for long-term success. The beauty of consistency is that it is cumulative. Each day of effort adds to the previous day's work. The actions you take today, no matter how small, are building blocks for future achievement. Skipping a day may feel insignificant, but skipping consistently erodes progress. Conversely, acting consistently, even in small ways, creates momentum. Momentum is a force that makes the next action easier, the next effort more natural, and the next achievement more likely. The compounding effect of daily consistency cannot be overstated. It is the foundational mastery in any field. Consistency requires discipline because it often asks you to act even when you do not feel like it. You will encounter days when you are tired, distracted, or discouraged. You will encounter moments when temptation, fear, or comfort beckons. Discipline allows you to act despite these obstacles. It ensures that your consistency is not dependent on fleeting motion, but is instead rooted in commitment, purpose, and action. The combination of discipline and consistency creates unstoppable momentum toward your goals. Consistency is also about creating habits that reinforce progress. Habits automate action and reduce reliance on willpower. When consistent behavior becomes habitual, it becomes easier to sustain over the long term. Habits are the building blocks of achievement. By consistently practicing the right behavior, you set up a system that propels you forward. Habits make consistency effortless, and consistency transforms habits into results. The more intentional your habits, the more powerful the compounding effect of consistency becomes. Consistency requires patience. Most people give up because they do not see immediate results. They expect outcomes to match effort on a day-to-day basis. But life does not work that way. Results are often delayed, invisible, or incremental. It's only when you persist, when you continue acting consistently over months and years, that the impact of your effort becomes visible. Patience is the ability to trust the process, to keep showing up even when progress feels slow, and to understand that consistency is the engine that drives eventual success. Consistency is a shield against doubt. Doubt will always appear, whispering that your effort is wasted, that success is impossible, or that others are ahead. But when you are consistent, doubt loses power because your actions speak louder than fear. Every day you show up, every task you complete, every goal you pursue, you reinforce the reality that you are capable, committed, and progressing. Consistency silences doubt by creating undeniable proof of progress over time. Consistency fosters resilience. When challenges, failures, or setbacks occur, and they inevitably will, consistency ensures that you continue moving forward. It prevents temporary obstacles from derailing your progress. Resilience is not just bouncing back. It is the ability to persist and maintain effort despite difficulty. Consistent trains resilience because it requires you to act even when circumstances are unfavorable. Over time, this resilience becomes a core strength that allows you to tackle increasingly complex goals. Consistency also amplifies skill development. Mastery is not achieved in a single moment or through rare bursts of effort. It is achieved through repeated practice over time. Each consistent attempt improves technique, builds understanding, and refines performance. The incremental progress gained through repetition may seem small at first, but it accumulates exponentially. Skill, like a muscle, grows with repeated use, and consistency is the stimulus that drives that growth. Consistency is about showing up for yourself every single day. It's not about impressing others or proving anything externally. It's about honoring your commitments, acting on your goals, and investing in your future. Your consistency defines your character. It reflects your reliability, your determination, and your integrity. Over time, the habit of showing up for yourself creates a life aligned with your highest potential. A life that others admire not because of luck, but because of persistent action. Consistency is closely linked to momentum. Momentum is created when actions build upon each other, creating forward motion that requires less effort to maintain. The first step is always the hardest, but once momentum begins to form, each subsequent step feels easier and more natural. Consistency is the engine that generates this momentum. Without consistent effort, momentum is impossible. With consistent effort, progress becomes self-reinforcing, leading to achievements that once seemed unattainable. Consistency transforms ordinary people into legends because it allows them to outlast everyone else. Talent, intelligence, and opportunity matter, but they are insufficient without repeated action. Those who persist when others quit accumulate experience, mastery, and results that set them apart. Success is rarely about a single moment of brilliance. It is about relentless effort over time. Consistency is what allows ordinary effort to compound into extraordinary life outcomes. Consistency demands self-awareness and reflection. It requires monitoring progress, evaluating actions, and making adjustments while maintaining momentum. Without reflection, consistency can become rote or misguided. Purposeful consistency, consistent action aligned with your goals, creates meaningful results. Mindless repetition without intention is not enough. The key is to be consistent in ways that move you closer to your desired outcomes, not just consistent for the sake of action. Consistency is also about adaptability. Life changes, circumstances shift, and obstacles arise. Being consistent does not mean rigidly adhering to one plan. It means continuously acting toward your goals despite changes. Adaptability allows you to maintain effort in new ways, ensuring that consistency remains unbroken even in challenging conditions. The disciplined flexibility of consistent action is what allows progress to continue even when the path shifts unexpectedly. Consistency creates credibility and influence. When others see someone who consistently follows through, they are inspired, trusted, and respected. Your actions set a standard that others notice and aspire to. Influence grows naturally when consistency is visible because people admire those who embody reliability, persistence, and commitment. Success attracts opportunity, and consistent action builds the reputation that opens doors to greater possibilities. Consistency builds confidence over time. Confidence is not a feeling. It is a belief reinforced by action. Each day you act consistently, you prove to yourself that you can endure, perform, and achieve. Confidence grows from repeated evidence of your capability. Without consistent action, confidence remains theoretical, based on wishful thinking rather than proof. Consistency turns intention into evidence, doubt into assurance, and hesitation into certainty. Consistency is a long-term investment. The results may not be immediate, but they are inevitable if you persist. Just as money compounds with regular deposits, effort compounds with consistent action. Small steps repeated over time create exponential growth. Each consistent effort contributes to a trajectory that eventually produces results far beyond what sporadic bursts of effort could achieve. Time rewards those who act consistently, even when progress is slow or invisible. Ultimately, consistency is the foundation of achievement. It is what turns potential into reality, effort into mastery, and goals into results. It is the principle that makes all other qualities, discipline, resilience, courage, skill, effective over time. Without consistency, talent, motivation, and even opportunity are wasted. With consistency, ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things. Consistency transforms life by ensuring that every action contributes to a trajectory of growth, impact, and success. Patience is one of the most underestimated qualities when it comes to achieving success. In a world that constantly promotes instant gratification, speed, and immediate results, patience is often overlooked, undervalued, and even dismissed. Yet, it is patience that allows long-term vision to manifest, that turns effort into mastery, and that converts dreams into reality. Patience is not about waiting passively or doing nothing. It is about taking consistent action while maintaining trust in the process. It is the ability to endure challenges, setbacks, and delays without losing focus, determination, or faith in your goals. The first aspect of patience is understanding timing. Life has a natural rhythm, and progress rarely happens overnight. The seed you plant today does not become a tree tomorrow. The skills you practice today will not make you an expert instantly. Relationships, careers, businesses, and personal growth all require time to develop. Impatience tempts you to rush, to cut corners, or to abandon efforts too early. But patience allows you to align your actions with the natural timing of growth, ensuring that your results are sustainable and meaningful. Patience is closely tied to resilience. Challenges, failures, and setbacks are inevitable on the path to success. Without patience, these obstacles can become sources of frustration, doubt, or discouragement. With patience, they become opportunities to learn, adapt, and strengthen your resolve. Resilience is built when you persist calmly and steadily in the face of adversity. Each setback is a lesson, and each delay is an invitation to refine your approach. Patience transforms obstacles from barriers into stepping stones toward your ultimate goals. Patience also requires trust in yourself, your abilities in the process. Doubt is a natural companion to impatience. When results do not come as quickly as desired, the mind questions whether effort is worthwhile, whether goals are achievable, or whether sacrifices have been in vain. Patience is the confidence that if you continue acting consistently and deliberately, your efforts will yield results. Trust is reinforced by reflection, by recognizing past progress, and by understanding that meaningful outcomes are rarely immediate. One of the most common mistakes people make is confusing impatience with action. They believe that doing more, faster, or harder will accelerate results. But frantic action without strategy, focus, or learning often leads to wasted energy, mistakes, and burnout. Patience is not about doing less. It is about doing the right things consistently, deliberately, and with persistence. It is the quality that ensures effort is sustainable, that decisions are thoughtful, and that progress is lasting. Patience is strengthened through perspective. Understanding that life is a marathon, not a sprint, changes how you approach challenges and delays. Long-term goals require long-term dedication. Immediate results are often misleading, fleeting, or insufficient. Those who succeed understand that every day of effort contributes to a larger trajectory. Patience allows you to focus on consistent growth rather than temporary validation. It keeps you committed to the process rather than distracted by the lack of instant outcomes. Emotional control is a key aspect of patience. Impatience often arises from frustration, anxiety, or fear. When you are emotionally reactive, setbacks feel more significant and delays feel unbearable. Patience is cultivated by developing emotional stability, by observing your reactions, managing your impulses, and maintaining calm in the face of adversity. This emotional discipline allows you to continue working toward your goals without being derailed by temporary discomfort or uncertainty. Patience is also about delayed gratification. Most people want immediate rewards, whether in money, recognition, or progress. This desire for quick results often leads to poor decisions, shortcuts, or giving up too soon. Patience teaches you to prioritize long-term gain over short-term pleasure. It encourages you to invest in processes, skills, and habits that yield meaningful results over time. By delaying gratification, you align your actions with outcomes that truly matter, rather than settling for temporary satisfaction. Reflection and learning are integral to patience. When you are patient, you have the opportunity to analyze, evaluate, and adjust your approach. And patience pushes you to act without thought, often repeating mistakes or pursuing ineffective strategies. Patience allows you to pause, gather insight, and make informed decisions. The journey toward goals becomes not just about reaching the destination, but about growing, learning, and becoming stronger along the way. Patience encourages humility. Those who are impatient often expect immediate recognition or results because they overestimate the importance of the present moment. Patience teaches you to recognize the bigger picture, to understand that growth takes time and that meaningful success is rarely instantaneous. It cultivates a mindset of steady progress, where small, consistent steps accumulate into transformative results. Humility ensures that you remain focused, disciplined, and committed even when immediate validation is absent. Consistency and patience are inseparable. Consistency without patience can lead to frustration, as the mind expects results that have not yet manifested. Patience without consistency is ineffective, as action is required for growth. Together, they create a powerful combination. Persistent, deliberate action applied over time with trust that your efforts will bear fruit. This combination is what allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary outcomes. Patience also teaches gratitude. When you understand that progress takes time, you begin to appreciate each step along the journey. Small wins, incremental improvements, and lessons learned become meaningful markers of advancement. Gratitude reinforces patience by shifting focus from what is lacking to what has been gained. It allows you to enjoy the process rather than obsessing over the pace of results. The journey becomes as valuable as the destination. Patience enhances decision-making. When you rush, you are more likely to make impulsive, poorly considered choices. Patience allows you to gather information, weigh options, and choose paths aligned with your long-term goals. Strategic patience ensures that every decision moves you closer to success rather than merely providing temporary relief or immediate satisfaction. Those who master patience are often better planners, better strategists, and ultimately more effective in achieving their objectives. Patience strengthens relationships. In both personal and professional contexts, rushing interactions, expecting immediate understanding, or demanding quick results can damage trust and collaboration. Patience allows you to listen, empathize, and respond thoughtfully. It creates a foundation for strong, lasting connections because it values understanding over speed, growth over instant gratification, and harmony over impatience. Relationships, like achievement, require time, care, and consistent effort to flourish. Patience encourages resilience during setbacks. When obstacles arise, the impatient person may give up, abandon goals, or act rashly. The patient person endures, adapts, and continues despite adversity. Setbacks are inevitable, but patience allows you to see beyond temporary failures. It gives you the strength to persist, to learn, and to continue moving towards your objectives, even when the path is difficult. Resilience and patience together create a mindset capable of achieving extraordinary outcomes. Patience also fosters self-mastery. It teaches you to control impulses, manage expectations, and maintain focus on long-term goals. Impatience leads to distraction, regret, and wasted energy. Patience cultivates discipline, focus, and clarity. It allows you to prioritize actions that matter most, rather than being swayed by fleeting desires, external pressures, or temporary frustrations. Self-mastery is a byproduct of patience applied consistently in all areas of life. Patience is closely linked to faith. Faith in the process, in your abilities, and in the eventual outcome. It is the belief that even when progress is slow, your persistent effort will yield results. Faith sustains patience because it provides hope and confidence that every step, every action, and every sacrifice contributes to a larger purpose. Without faith, patience can feel like waiting in vain. With faith, patience becomes an empowering force that fuels consistent effort. Patience teaches you to value the journey. Many people focus solely on the outcome, the promotion, the success, the recognition, the milestone, and ignore the growth and development that occurs along the way. Patience allows you to appreciate the process, the lessons, the skills acquired, and the personal evolution that occurs while working toward your goals. The journey itself becomes a source of fulfillment, insight, and strength. Patience allows for strategic planning. When you are patient, you can observe, analyze, and anticipate challenges before they arise. You can create strategies that are sustainable, effective, and adaptable. Impatience often leads to reactive, short-sighted decisions that compromise long-term goals. Patience ensures that you act with intention, foresight, and clarity, making your efforts more impactful and your progress more certain. Patience is the counterbalance to frustration. Every journey towards success involves difficulty, resistance, and unexpected delays. Impatience magnifies these obstacles, making them feel insurmountable. Patience reduces the emotional weight of challenges by helping you see them as temporary, manageable, and necessary for growth. It allows you to maintain perspective, sustain effort, and persevere with a calm and focused mind. Finally, patience is a form of strength. It is not passive. It is active endurance. It requires courage to persist when results are not immediate, to continue working despite doubt, and to maintain focus in the face of adversity. Patience strengthens character, builds resilience, and ensures that your efforts are sustained over time. It transforms potential into achievement, effort into mastery, and intention into reality. Those who master patience achieve extraordinary results, not because they are faster or luckier, but because they endure, persist, and trust the process until success becomes inevitable. Vision is the compass that guides your actions, the blueprint that shapes your future, and the fuel that drives relentless effort every single day. Without vision, effort can become aimless, energy can dissipate, and progress can feel like wandering in the dark. Vision gives clarity to your goals, purpose to your actions, and direction to your decision. It is not just seeing what is possible. It is believing in what is possible and committing yourself fully to bringing it into reality. Vision is not a luxury reserved for the elite. It is a necessity for anyone who wants to go hard every single day and live a life of impact and fulfillment. The first element of vision is imagination. You must be able to see beyond your current circumstances, beyond limitations imposed by fear, doubt, or society, and imagine a life you want to create. This imagination is not idle daydreaming. It is a vivid, detailed, and compelling picture of your future. The clearer and more detailed your vision, the more powerful it becomes as a motivator. Imagination allows you to explore possibilities, define your goals, and create a mental blueprint for action. Without imagination, vision remains abstract and lacks the ability to inspire consistent effort. Vision requires clarity. It is not enough to say, I want to be successful or I want a better life. You must define what success means to you in specific terms with measurable outcomes, milestones, and indicators. Clarity and vision allows you to focus your energy, allocate your resources, and make decisions that align with your long-term goals. A vague vision creates confusion, inconsistency, and wasted effort. A clear vision becomes a guidepost, a standard by which you measure your actions and choices every single day. Vision is fueled by purpose. Purpose gives your vision meaning. It answers the question, why do you want this? Without purpose, vision becomes a hollow goal, easily abandoned when challenges arise. Purpose connects your daily actions to something larger than yourself, providing the emotional and psychological drive needed to persist through difficulty. Vision without purpose may inspire initially, but it cannot sustain effort over the long term. Purpose gives vision a weight and gravity that demands action. Vision is forward-looking but grounded in reality. It requires an honest assessment of where you are now, what resources you have, and the obstacles that lie ahead. Too often, people create visions that are either unrealistic or disconnected from their current circumstances. While ambition is important, grounding your vision in reality allows you to create actionable steps and measurable milestones. A realistic vision balances aspiration with practicality, ensuring that your pursuit is focused, strategic, and attainable with consistent effort. Vision creates focus. In a world full of distractions, options, and competing priorities, vision acts as a filter. It helps you decide what to pursue, what to ignore, and what to prioritize. Focus is the manifestation of vision in daily action. Every choice, every task, every effort becomes aligned with the ultimate goal. Vision eliminates wasted energy, scattered effort, and indecision. It channels your time, resources, and talent toward the actions that truly matter. Without vision, focus is impossible. With vision, focus becomes a natural consequence of clarity and purpose. Vision drives persistence. Every path to success is fraught with challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. Without vision, it is easy to become discouraged, lose momentum, or give up when progress feels slow. Vision provides the long-term perspective necessary to endure difficulty. It allows you to see beyond temporary failures, setbacks, and delays, understanding that each challenge is a step toward the ultimate goal. Persistence is sustained by vision because it keeps your eyes on the prize even when the journey is arduous. Vision is amplified by action. A vision without action remains a dream. It requires deliberate, consistent effort to translate ideas into reality. Every step you take, every decision you make, every sacrifice you endure should move you closer to the vision you have created. Vision is the destination. Action is the vehicle. Both are required. Without action, vision is meaningless. Without vision, action is directionless. The combination of clear vision and consistent action is the engine of extraordinary achievement. Vision requires adaptation. While the core purpose and long-term goals remain steady, the path toward achieving them is rarely linear. Challenges arise, circumstances change, and new opportunities appear. A strong vision allows for flexibility without losing sight of the ultimate objective. Adaptation ensures that setbacks do not derail progress and that new strategies are employed when necessary. Vision is not rigid. It is resilient, evolving while remaining anchored in the purpose that drives it. Vision creates accountability. When you have a clear picture of your desired future, you are better equipped to measure your progress, evaluate your choices, and hold yourself responsible for your action. Accountability is the bridge between intention and achievement. It ensures that your daily actions are consistent with your long-term goals. Vision provides the standard, and accountability ensures that your actions align with that standard, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of growth and achievement. Vision fosters resilience. The challenges of life, business, and personal development are inevitable. Without a compelling vision, setbacks can feel catastrophic, and obstacles can seem insurmountable. Vision provides the emotional and mental fortitude to persevere. It reminds you that each setback is temporary, each challenge is surmountable, and every failure is a lesson. Resilience is strengthened when you act in alignment with your vision because you are motivated not by short-term comfort, but by long-term purpose. Vision inspires others. People are drawn to individuals who have clarity, purpose, and direction. A strong vision communicates confidence, ambition, and potential. It attracts collaborators, mentors, supporters, and resources. Leaders, innovators, and high achievers all leverage vision to inspire action not only in themselves, but in others. When your vision is clear and compelling, it naturally motivates those around you to contribute, support, and follow your lead. Vision becomes a multiplier, extending influence beyond personal effort. Vision requires belief. Belief in yourself, in your goals, and in the process is essential. Without belief, doubt will paralyze you and fear will dominate your choices. Belief reinforces commitment, fuels persistence, and strengthens resilience. It is the internal engine that keeps you moving when external validation or immediate results are absent. Vision is meaningless without belief because action requires the confidence that what you are pursuing is attainable and worth pursuing. Vision demands sacrifice. Achieving significant goals often requires giving up comfort, convenience, or short-term pleasure. Vision provides the reason for that sacrifice. It gives context to the effort, framing challenges and delays as necessary investments in the future. Sacrifice is not punishment. It is the deliberate choice to prioritize what matters most. A compelling vision ensures that the sacrifices you make today are understood as essential steps toward a meaningful and impactful life. Vision strengthens decision-making. When faced with choices, a clear vision serves as a guide. It allows you to evaluate options based on alignment with long-term objectives rather than immediate gratification or convenience. Decision-making becomes faster, more deliberate, and more consistent. Vision reduces uncertainty because it provides criteria for action. It ensures that your choices are intentional and directed toward creating the outcomes you desire, rather than being reactive to circumstances or emotions. Vision creates momentum. Every action aligned with a clear vision contributes to progress. Over time, these cumulative efforts generate momentum that makes subsequent actions easier and more effective. Momentum is the natural consequence of consistent effort, guided by clarity and purpose. Vision ensures that the momentum you build is directed toward meaningful objectives, transforming small, incremental actions into significant long-term achievement. Vision fosters innovation. When you see a future that does not yet exist, you are compelled to find new methods, approaches, and solutions to bridge the gap between today and tomorrow. Vision encourages creativity, problem solving, and experimentation. It allows you to think beyond conventional limitations and pursue paths that others may not see. Vision-driven action results in innovation because it challenges the status quo and pushes you to create solutions aligned with your ultimate goals. Vision enhances focus and eliminates distraction. In a world filled with competing priorities, information overload, and constant stimulation, focus is a critical asset. Vision acts as a filter, allowing you to concentrate on what truly matters and ignore what does not. It ensures that your energy, attention, and resources are applied where they have the greatest impact. Without vision, focus is scattered and inconsistent. With vision, focus becomes natural, disciplined, and highly effective. Vision motivates perseverance. Every journey toward a meaningful goal involves struggles, sacrifice, and setbacks. Without vision, it is easy to give up when progress is slow or challenges feel overwhelming. Vision provides the emotional and mental drive to continue despite difficulty. It reminds you of why you started, what you are working toward, and what is at stake. Perseverance fueled by vision ensures that temporary obstacles do not prevent you from reaching your long-term goals. Vision is the foundation for leadership. Leaders inspire, guide, and influence others because they have clarity about the destination and purpose behind their actions. Vision allows you to lead yourself and others effectively by providing a roadmap and demonstrating commitment. A clear vision communicates direction, instills confidence, and attracts support. Leadership without vision lacks direction, influence, and impact. Vision is what transforms effort into legacy. Vision creates accountability, clarity, focus, resilience, innovation, and action. It transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement because it ensures that every decision, every action, and every sacrifice is aligned with a meaningful outcome. It allows you to endure challenges, navigate uncertainty, and maintain commitment when others falter. Vision is the anchor that keeps your efforts steady, the compass that directs your journey, and the fuel that drives relentless pursuit of your goals. Ultimately, vision is about seeing beyond limitations, acting with purpose, and committing fully to your desired future. It is the guiding light that ensures your actions are deliberate, consistent, and impactful. Vision transforms intention into reality, effort into results, and dreams into achievement. It is the cornerstone of going hard every single day. Because without vision, energy is wasted, effort is misdirected, and potential remains unfulfilled. With vision, you create a life of purpose, impact, and extraordinary success. Vision is the compass that guides your actions, the blueprint that shapes your future, and the fuel that drives relentless effort every single day. Without vision, effort can become aimless, energy can dissipate, and progress can feel like wandering in the dark. Vision gives clarity to your goals, purpose to your actions, and direction to your decision. It is not just seeing what is possible. It is believing in what is possible and committing yourself fully to bringing it into reality. Vision is not a luxury reserved for the elite. It is a necessity for anyone who wants to go hard every single day and live a life of impact and fulfillment. The first element of vision is imagination. You must be able to see beyond your current circumstances, beyond limitations imposed by fear, doubt, or society, and imagine a life you want to create. This imagination is not idle daydreaming. It is a vivid, detailed, and compelling picture of your future. The clearer and more detailed your vision, the more powerful it becomes as a motivator. Imagination allows you to explore possibilities, define your goals, and create a mental blueprint for action. Without imagination, vision remains abstract and lacks the ability to inspire consistent effort. Vision requires clarity. It is not enough to say, I want to be successful or I want a better life. You must define what success means to you in specific terms with measurable outcomes, milestones, and indicators. Clarity in vision allows you to focus your energy, allocate your resources, and make decisions that align with your long-term goals. A vague vision creates confusion, inconsistency, and wasted effort. A clear vision becomes a guidepost, a standard by which you measure your actions and choices every single day. Vision is fueled by purpose. Purpose gives your vision meaning. It answers the question, why do you want this? Without purpose, vision becomes a hollow goal, easily abandoned when challenges arise. Purpose connects your daily actions to something larger than yourself, providing the emotional and psychological drive needed to persist through difficulty. Vision without purpose may inspire initially, but it cannot sustain effort over the long term. Purpose gives vision the weight and gravity that demands action. Vision is forward-looking but grounded in reality. It requires an honest assessment of where you are now, what resources you have, and the obstacles that lie ahead. Too often, people create visions that are either unrealistic or disconnected from their current circumstances. While ambition is important, grounding your vision in reality allows you to create actionable steps and measurable milestones. A realistic vision balances aspiration with practicality, ensuring that your pursuit is focused, strategic, and attainable with consistent effort. Vision creates focus. In a world full of distractions, options, and competing priorities, vision acts as a filter. It helps you decide what to pursue, what to ignore, and what to prioritize. Focus is the manifestation of vision in daily action. Every choice, every task, every effort becomes aligned with the ultimate goal. Vision eliminates wasted energy, scattered effort, and indecision. It channels your time, resources, and talent toward the actions that truly matter. Without vision, focus is impossible. With vision, focus becomes a natural consequence of clarity and purpose. Vision drives persistence. Every path to success is fraught with challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. Without vision, it is easy to become discouraged, lose momentum, or give up when progress feels slow. Vision provides the long-term perspective necessary to endure difficulty. It allows you to see beyond temporary failures, setbacks, and delays, understanding that each challenge is a step toward the ultimate goal. Persistence is sustained by vision because it keeps your eyes on the prize even when the journey is arduous. Vision is amplified by action. A vision without action remains a dream. It requires deliberate, consistent effort to translate ideas into reality. Every step you take, every decision you make, every sacrifice you endure should move you closer to the vision you have created. Vision is the destination. Action is the vehicle. Both are required. Without action, vision is meaningless. Without vision, action is directionless. The combination of clear vision and consistent action is the engine of extraordinary achievement. Vision requires adaptation. While the core purpose and long-term goals remain steady, the path toward achieving them is rarely linear. Challenges arise, circumstances change, and new opportunities appear. A strong vision allows for flexibility without losing sight of the ultimate objective. Adaptation ensures that setbacks do not derail progress and that new strategies are employed when necessary. Vision is not rigid. It is resilient, evolving while remaining anchored in the purpose that drives it. Vision creates accountability. When you have a clear picture of your desired future, you are better equipped to measure your progress, evaluate your choices, and hold yourself responsible for your actions. Accountability is the bridge between intention and achievement. It ensures that your daily actions are consistent with your long-term goals. Vision provides a standard, and accountability ensures that your actions align with that standard, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of growth and achievement. Vision fosters resilience. The challenges of life, business, and personal development are inevitable. Without a compelling vision, setbacks can feel catastrophic and obstacles can seem insurmountable. Vision provides the emotional and mental fortitude to persevere. It reminds you that each setback is temporary, each challenge is surmountable, and every failure is a lesson. Resilience strengthens when you act in alignment with your vision, because you are motivated not by short-term comfort, but by long-term purpose. Vision inspires others. People are drawn to individuals who have clarity, purpose, and direction. A strong vision communicates confidence, ambition, and potential. It attracts collaborators, mentors, supporters, and resources. Leaders, innovators, and high achievers all leverage vision to inspire action, not only in themselves, but in others. When your vision is clear and compelling, it naturally motivates those around you to contribute, support, and follow your lead. Vision becomes a multiplier, extending influence beyond personal effort. Vision requires belief. Belief in yourself, in your goals, and in the process is essential. Without belief, doubt will paralyze you, and fear will dominate your choices. Belief reinforces commitment, fuels persistence, and strengthens resilience. It is the internal engine that keeps you moving when external validation or immediate results are absent. Vision is meaningless without belief because action requires a confidence that what you are pursuing is attainable and worth pursuing. Vision demands sacrifice. Achieving significant goals often requires giving up comfort, convenience, or short-term pleasure. Vision provides the reason for that sacrifice. It gives context to the effort, framing challenges and delays as necessary investments in the future. Sacrifice is not punishment. It is the deliberate choice to prioritize what matters most. A compelling vision ensures that the sacrifices you make today are understood as essential steps toward a meaningful and impactful life. Vision strengthens decision-making. When faced with choices, a clear vision serves as a guide. It allows you to evaluate options based on alignment with long-term objectives rather than immediate gratification or convenience. Decision-making becomes faster, more deliberate, and more consistent. Vision reduces uncertainty because it provides criteria for action. It ensures that your choices are intentional and directed toward creating the outcomes you desire. Rather than being reactive to circumstances or emotion, vision creates momentum. Every action aligned with a clear vision contributes to progress. Over time, these cumulative efforts generate momentum that makes subsequent actions easier and more effective. Momentum is the natural consequence of consistent effort guided by clarity and purpose. Vision ensures that the momentum you build is directed toward meaningful objectives, transforming small, incremental actions into significant long-term achievement. Vision fosters innovation. When you see a future that does not yet exist, you are compelled to find new methods, approaches, and solutions to bridge the gap between today and tomorrow. Vision encourages creativity, problem solving, and experimentation. It allows you to think beyond conventional limitations and pursue paths that others may not see. Vision-driven action results in innovation because it challenges the status quo and pushes you to create solutions aligned with your ultimate goals. Vision enhances focus and eliminates distraction. In a world filled with competing priorities, information overload, and constant stimulation, focus is a critical asset. Vision acts as a filter, allowing you to concentrate on what truly matters and ignore what does not. It ensures that your energy, attention, and resources are applied where they have the greatest impact. Without vision, focus is scattered and inconsistent. With vision, focus becomes natural, disciplined, and highly effective. Vision motivates perseverance. Every journey toward a meaningful goal involves struggle, sacrifice, and setbacks. Without vision, it is easy to give up when progress is slow, challenges feel overwhelming. Vision provides the emotional and mental drive to continue despite difficulty. It reminds you of why you started, what you are working toward, and what is at stake. Perseverance fueled by vision ensures that temporary obstacles do not prevent you from reaching your long-term goals. Vision is the foundation for leadership. Leaders inspire, guide, and influence others because they have clarity about the destination and purpose behind their action. Vision allows you to lead yourself and others effectively by providing a roadmap and demonstrating commitment. A clear vision communicates direction, instills confidence, and attracts support. Leadership without vision lacks direction, influence, and impact. Vision is what transforms effort into legacy. Vision creates accountability, clarity, focus, resilience, innovation, and action. It transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement because it ensures that every decision, every action, every sacrifice is aligned with a meaningful outcome. It allows you to endure challenges, navigate uncertainty, and maintain commitment when others falter. Vision is the anchor that keeps your efforts steady, the compass that directs your journey, and the fuel that drives relentless pursuit of your goals. Ultimately, vision is about seeing beyond limitations, acting with purpose, and committing fully to your desired future. It is the guiding light that ensures your actions are deliberate, consistent, and impactful. Vision transforms intention into reality, effort into results, and dreams into achievement. It is the cornerstone of going hard every single day, because without vision, energy is wasted, effort is misdirected, and potential remains unfulfilled. With vision, you create a life of purpose, impact, and extraordinary success.